What lengths will narcissists go to in order to protect their fragile egos? Join us as we unveil the 7 revealing things that narcissists will go to great extremes to avoid, shedding light on the intricate mechanisms behind their actions. The 5th one is especially intriguing. Number 1. Facing rejection. For narcissists, facing rejection is akin to confronting their deepest fears and insecurities. This emotional blow strikes at the heart of their carefully constructed self-image, shattering the illusion of their invincibility and desirability. Rejection contradicts the very essence of a narcissist's identity, their belief in their superiority and entitlement. Being rejected challenges their self-perceived exceptionalism, leaving them vulnerable to feelings of inadequacy and unworthiness. To avoid this painful reality, narcissists will often go to extreme lengths. They may resort to manipulation, deceit, or even aggressive behavior to prevent rejection from occurring. Their fear of rejection drives their need for constant admiration and attention, as these external validations bolster their fragile self-esteem. This deep-seated fear can be traced back to their childhood or past experiences, where rejection may have left lasting scars. As a result, they develop a defense mechanism that prioritizes control and manipulation to safeguard against future rejections. Recognizing this fear of rejection empowers you to navigate interactions with a clear understanding. By understanding their vulnerability, you can approach conversations and relationships with a sense of compassion. Number 2. Self-reflection. Self-reflection, a vital tool for personal growth and emotional maturity, often remains elusive to narcissists. This avoidance stems from their deeply ingrained need to protect their inflated self-image and avoid confronting their flaws. Self-reflection requires introspection, an internal examination of one's actions, motivations, and shortcomings. For narcissists, this process is threatening as it dismantles their carefully constructed facade of perfection. Confronting their imperfections contradicts their self-perceived grandiosity and invincibility. To dodge self-reflection, narcissists often deflect blame onto others, engage in denial, or employ manipulation tactics. They resist acknowledging their role in conflicts or admitting to any wrongdoings, which helps them maintain their facade of superiority. This aversion to self-reflection can be traced back to their deep-seated insecurities. Acknowledging their vulnerabilities threatens their carefully curated self-image, leaving them with a feeling of emptiness and inadequacy. Number 3. Admitting flaws. Admitting flaws is a challenging feat for narcissists, whose very identity hinges on their perceived perfection. Their inherent need for constant validation and admiration clashes with the vulnerability of acknowledging their imperfections. For narcissists, admitting flaws is synonymous with relinquishing control over their carefully crafted self-image. It shatters the illusion of invincibility they maintain to garner admiration and respect. To avoid acknowledging their flaws, narcissists often employ tactics of denial, blame shifting, or even outright lying. These maneuvers enable them to protect their image while deflecting any responsibility for their actions. This reluctance to admit flaws often originates from their early experiences and upbringing. They internalize a belief that vulnerability is a sign of weakness, perpetuating the cycle of avoiding self-awareness. Recognizing their resistance to admitting flaws empowers you to navigate interactions with a clear perspective. Their defensiveness is rooted in their fear of vulnerability. Number 4. Empathy. Empathy, the ability to understand and share another person's feelings, is a crucial aspect of healthy interpersonal relationships. However, for narcissists, this emotional trait often remains conspicuously absent, as their self-centered worldview inhibits their capacity to truly connect with others on an empathetic level. Empathy requires stepping outside one's own perspective and genuinely engaging with the emotions of others. Narcissists, consumed by their own desires and self-importance, struggle to shift their focus from themselves to others. Their inability to empathize hinders their ability to comprehend the needs and feelings of those around them. For narcissists, the concept of empathy often feels foreign and threatening. Connecting with others on an emotional level challenges their need for control and admiration. Genuine empathy may expose vulnerabilities they are desperate to keep hidden, leading them to avoid such connections altogether. The lack of empathy is deeply rooted in the narcissist's psychological makeup. Early experiences, upbringing, and an overemphasis on self-worth contribute to this deficiency. While they may exhibit surface-level charm and understanding, their underlying motivations are often driven by self-interest. Number 5. Criticism. Criticism, even when constructive, is a challenging pill for narcissists to swallow. Their innate need for constant admiration clashes with the inherent vulnerability of acknowledging their imperfections, often resulting in a defensive response. Narcissists view criticism as a direct assault on their self-esteem and self-image. They resist acknowledging any form of wrongdoing or shortcomings, as it contradicts their deeply ingrained belief in their own superiority. To shield themselves from criticism, narcissists employ an array of tactics. They may deflect blame onto others, engage in denial, or employ counterattacks to discredit the person offering criticism. This maneuver allows them to maintain their self-perceived flawless image and control over the narrative. This aversion to criticism often stems from their early experiences and past wounds. They develop a defense mechanism to protect their fragile ego, resisting any form of negative evaluation to avoid feelings of shame and inadequacy. Though criticism remains a sensitive area for narcissists, comprehending their avoidance provides insight into their behaviors and the complexities of their emotional landscape. Number 6. Losing control. Losing control is a nightmare for narcissists, who thrive on maintaining power and influence over their surroundings. Their need for dominance and manipulation clashes with the unpredictable nature of relinquishing control. Narcissists view losing control as an assault on their carefully constructed self-image of superiority and authority. The thought of surrendering their grip on situations or people threatens their perceived invincibility. To avoid losing control, narcissists may resort to manipulation, aggression, or gaslighting. These tactics serve to maintain their position of dominance and deter any challenges to their authority. This fear of losing control is deeply rooted in their psychological makeup, often stemming from their past experiences and upbringing. Their need for control becomes a defense mechanism to counter feelings of vulnerability and insecurity. Number 7. Being ignored. Being ignored strikes at the core of narcissists' insecurities, threatening their insatiable need for attention and admiration. Their self-centered worldview clashes with the idea of not being the center of attention. Narcissists view being ignored as a direct affront to their grandiose self-image. It challenges their belief that they are the most important and desirable individuals in any given situation. To avoid being ignored, narcissists may resort to attention-seeking behaviors, manipulation, or even aggression. These tactics are designed to ensure they remain the focal point of interactions and conversations. This fear of being ignored is often rooted in their psychological history, stemming from experiences of feeling insignificant or overlooked. Their desperate need for attention becomes a mechanism to compensate for these past wounds. Understanding that their attention-seeking behaviors stem from deep-seated insecurities allows you to approach conversations with empathy and emotional intelligence. Stepping into the role of an emotionally grounded individual enables you to dismantle their manipulation tactics and foster connections built on genuine communication and mutual understanding. While the dread of being ignored may persist for narcissists, comprehending their vulnerability provides insight into their behaviors and the nuances of their emotional landscape. If you're struggling with narcissistic abuse, please see the link in the description to get some help. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more information on how to fight narcissistic abuse. We recommend our video on what happens to narcissists in their 40s next.